Thank you very much for joining us. One of the things I was really keen to do with this is to give a platform to businesses and people within tech within Manchester. As someone who's been here a year and already seen so much growth and the absolute buzz around the city, one of the things I'm really passionate about is speaking to other people in and around Manchester who are potentially moved here or already from here within that tech community. So thank you very much for joining us, Dimitri. I don't know if you want to kick things off by sort of just introducing yourself and sort of what you're currently doing at the minute in your role.
Dmitrijs Jurins, CTO at Fexillon. We are the technology company, although Fexillon is in the market for over 20 years, I'd say, 25, approaching that. Started as the consultancy business, helping building owners and operators to run the buildings efficiently, make sure the construction handover happens, and when you receive the keys to your new premises, you can actually operate it. So the mission was to get people off the paper records to digital. Hence, a lot of development started, a lot of tech-enabled consultancy evolved over years. And I joined Fexillon on the mission to make a truly technical company.
Amazing.
And that was a really interesting journey.
And Ireland based as well.
Oh, yes.
You get to go to Dublin quite a lot and
Absolutely.
drink a lot of Guinness.
Yeah, just came back from there.
So yeah, and I'm really keen to understand really like what your role entails there. I appreciate the role of the CTO can be many hats, but what does it sort of mean for you at Fexillon?
Sure. Predominantly, it's a mix of two things. It's a business and the technology. And for me, as the tech geek, as the software developer by trade, it's of course to make sure that technologically the company is cutting the edge there. It's on the top. And a lot of work goes into building the right departments, working with the leaders to make sure that those tech departments and teams are prospering, setting the guardrails for them, but also giving them the right direction. And then just make sure they have everything and that's the key to get to the success, in my view. So yeah, it's a lot of working with people, working with technology, making sure we're doing the right thing in the right way, and promote the individuals within. Just let them show the high tech.
Do you feel like being a software developer engineer by trade initially has helped you move into that more business focus? I appreciate there's many different routes, or it's not the same.
No, 100%, 100%. It was, I would say, essential, because if you look at my career path, it's fairly typical, or as I imagined, let's put it this way: software developer, lead developer, went into project management, so team leading, project management, program management, and technical director, CTO. That was all fueled by my technical ability, because when you start leading teams and you start leading people, it's an understanding of what's possible, what's challenging, and specifically issue troubleshooting. When people struggle, and they will struggle, it's on you to show the direction. It's on you to step in and say, no, we actually can do this. Look into this or look into that. Have you considered this? That comes from your technology experience predominantly.
Okay, amazing. And then, so it's rewinding back a little bit then, what was your sort of introduction into technology then? Or
Many moons ago, many.
not that long ago.
Oof. I would say it all started like 25 years ago. And the personal computers reached Eastern Europe, where I'm from. I'm from Latvia.
Yeah.
And I got a PC, and that was fascinating. It changed my mind. It changed the world for me. Of course, there were games, but there was also a lot of interesting paper-based publications. Like, you can do this, you can do that. That's how hacking works. So that's how software development works. And that fascinated me. That was the start. That's what gave me the inspiration.
And that's one of the things I find so fascinating about people who work within tech. It starts as a hobby. Normally it starts as a hobby. Then you go into education. Then you go into a role. And so there's that passion for doing stuff. Like when I was young, I didn't tend to be a recruiter. I think it just sort of just fell into it like a lot of other positions. So I think it's amazing that because majority of people, a lot of people will keep that passion throughout their whole life, really. And it's something that people sort of really latch onto, I suppose, because it is so ever evolving.
Sure. That's true. And for me, what's essential about the software development or general development is you actually create something. That's cool. We are creative people. It doesn't look like this from the far, but actually developers are very creative and they do admire what they create. The sense of completion, sense of achievement. This is what I'm growing in my teams,
Yeah.
and I help people to shape up this feeling and thought that you're actually creating something. You need to be proud about this. You need to defend it. You need to fight for it. And first of all, you need to be thinking yourself. You created something. That's cool.
It's really interesting. How do you foster that creativity within your teams there? Because some people may not have the perception that they are creative when they actually are, but as you said, within engineering.
I think through the sense of ownership, and that helps on many fronts. This one including, but sense of ownership starts bringing sense of pride in what you're doing. And when you own something and proud about what you own, that's where you start having this emotional attachment to it, and then you start caring. And when you care, that's when the amazing results unfold.
No. And is that caring about your work, caring about the business, caring about the company, or is it just a mixture of all of it? Because does it come? Some people
It's
can
hard.
look at it as just a
Yeah.
job, and
Yeah, it's hard to get people to care about the company, care about the business, care about the stakeholders, and probably we shouldn't aim explicitly to do that, or at least I'm not aiming for that.
yeah,
I'm actually making them care about the output of what they do, the software they produce, the feedback they receive from users. I want them to care about that. The rest will come along, and the shareholders will be happy, and the business will prosper. As long as you actually put a bit of passion and your soul into what you do, the outcome is completely different.
and what's the phrase like craftsmanship? Like that can be massively applied to engineering if you're proud without over engineering, I suppose, but like being proud of the work you.
Sometimes even with over engineering, we're all guilty of that.
Yeah. Right. And how has your sort of journey been from starting in technology to getting that first PC back in Latvia to the leadership role that you are now in? How's that been?
Found myself after school in a situation where I I actually didn't have a solid career path or aspirations, but
Yeah.
I knew I'll go into the computer science. I just knew there is something for me. I didn't know what.
Just like a little feeling.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. It was the feeling. So I gone to the university in Riga, Latvian University, computer science. I do remember the uh, very first day there. It was something like linear algebra or something like that, very computer science stuff. But the dean of the faculty walked in and said, "Right, boys and girls, we will be teaching you for 4 years. You'll get a degree from us, but you do need to get a hands-on experience. This is
Okay.
something we can't give you.
Yeah.
We'll teach you the principles, we'll teach you the theory, we will try to teach you the modern tech, but the real modern tech is out there in the world."
Yeah.
And that's where I extremely benefited from Latvia being a small country, just less than 2 million people live there.
Oh yeah.
So the dean of the computer science faculty in the university has graduated 80% of the business owners in IT.
Oh
So
wow.
I know them all.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. You go out there, get yourself a job, a part-time job in IT and software development, and we'll work it out. We'll work out your attendance. We'll make sure that you're given enough time to work. Your employer will give you enough time to go to the university. It will be a very nice symbiosis. And actually worked out really well. I was working, I was earning, and I was the rest of the time spent, of course, playing games, partying, all this student stuff. But he was right. I graduated with 4 years hands-on software development experience.
Do you think that um so assuming then you think that that sort of hands-on experience then, but so not the theoretical from the educational side of things was really important for you then to where you are now?
I'd say so. If we look at my recruitment process, I do believe education is important, and you do need to have a degree. Um, I'm not so fussed about the thesis that you picked in the last year or
Yeah.
which exact university did you graduate. Mostly because university kind of shapes you up a bit as the human. You need to go through this experience. It gives a lot, but it doesn't teach you the trade per se.
Yeah.
The work experience does. But if you are a graduate, and I work a lot with graduates in for many years, I was able to afford only hiring graduates.
Yeah.
Right, budgets were tight, and working with them is a pleasure. Yeah, as long as you see the passion there, as long as you see that person is capable to get a degree, well, this person will be capable for much more than it was on me to train them.
Okay, amazing. And do you feel that that education sort of thing is important for the people that you look for then?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Because obviously there is a big school of thought for people coming in from different industries and bringing different sort of life experiences into the techno. Because
Yeah, I worked with people like that.
yeah,
There were successes, there were failures, like with the university
yeah,
graduates. And that's why, for me, a degree is important. It's not life changing,
yeah. Okay,
and probably in part it's influenced by me. I'm a graduate of Manchester University. I did the business school in
is it?
Manchester. The my master's is from there, and my original expectations were I'm going to Hogwarts, no less than that. It wasn't Hogwarts, unfortunately. And yeah, I got a degree and it didn't change my life. And that's when, because my expectations were wrong. I
Yeah,
thought it will. It didn't. My hard working did change my life.
yeah. And I think that's the important thing is, I'm not sure what your opinion, but working hard, and then the ability to want and be able to learn. And and then with regards to sort of your journey, then is there anything? So you started from the educational side of things, and then obviously moved. How did you first move into like a leadership position then, off the back of
By taking responsibility, my actions were coming uh, way before my promotions. And that's the story of my life. And that's how I achieved things I did. Uh, I don't want to recommend this way. It should be easier for others. I think I did it the hard way, but nevertheless, I did it. And joining into leadership is you just show initiative. You show the desire to take extra responsibility. And that's a very old school way of doing things. I see less and less of this these days. And probably rightly so. People care about work-life balance more, and they
yeah,
should. I didn't, and it did come with the consequences, not just with the perks. Um, that was my way, and this way worked.
yeah, nice. I think it's been refreshing to hear that because a lot of time people will say do it this, but there is sacrifice sometimes to be able to get to where you want to go. But then sacrifice is a choice. It's not like a one
Mm,
way or the other.
yep, and I admire people who decide not to, which is fine. Some of them will actually succeed. Some of them will satisfy what they do want to accomplish. It all depends on the personality. So no one should be forced into overworking or taking extra responsibility for not so much adequate remuneration for that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my experience is what it is.
Okay. And is there anything you would have done differently throughout this journey to where you are now?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Um, Probably no. Probably. Um, this is my look on the past. Past is past. What happened, it happened. Probably I wouldn't change much. No, I'm quite. I admire where I am, and I'm thankful to everything that happened and everything that did not happen. Changing something, there's no guarantee you would change this for good or for bad. You never know. Um, so that's why I'm just appreciating the past, appreciating the story. It's an interesting story. There is far longer story ahead of me. So, nah, I would probably not change anything.
And I think it's about learning from the mistakes you've made and appreciating that it is a journey. It's not a straight line. It's people can take different paths. There's different ways about going about it. But yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. And is there any advice you'd give to someone looking to get to a similar position you're in now? And I know sometimes the CTO position can seem like the holy grail for some people going into the software engineering stuff. Is there anything you feel like would be good for some knowledge you can impart?
I did meet an interesting gentleman on a night out in Dublin. I popped into the Spars there, which is a far much more fashionable shop in Dublin than in Manchester,
Yeah.
interestingly.
Yeah, they
But
do. They have like deli counters
yeah,
with
yeah,
hot chicken fillet rolls.
exactly. It's like Marks and Spencer's food here. So I popped in there. There was this chap from Serbia, I think. He came to Dublin for just few days, and we bumped into each other. And he came to Ireland to start making his career in IT. And he asked me
Okay.
exactly this question, like, "Oh, you're a CTO. Well, how do I become a CTO?" I was just standing there, quite tired, I need to admit. I just said, "You know what? The only advice I can give you is just work hard."
Yeah.
Uh, Not because it's the best advice, but that's something that works for me.
Yeah.
Work hard. Unfortunately, if you do set the high targets for yourself,
Yeah.
it won't come easy. Nothing comes easy. So, yeah, and one way is you do work hard. Maybe there are other ways. I don't know them.
Yeah. No, and I think as well, it's good to appreciate as well that like some people might want to get to that CTO level without realizing what you have to get for it. Like there's not one set out path in tech. You can go in and be an individual contributor. You don't have to have the leadership. You don't have to be dealing with senior level people from a business perspective, because some people might not like that. But I think is about just understanding what you like and trying to harness that while working hard.
100%. And what my advice would be, what you need to be ready for, you need to be ready for, let's say, this morning when you are in the bathroom, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you realize that it will be a hard day, and the business or the team or the challenge you have is close to impossible, but you are that person who needs to put yourself in the mirror and say, right, you can do this. If anyone can do this, it's you.
Yeah.
And it's now your job to come to your team's call or into your meeting room or into your co-working place, meet the team and say, guys, we can do this.
Yeah.
I am confident. So that's where the leadership unfolds. And this will be quite challenging and probably not for everyone. But this is my advice: is consider such situations. It will be on you
Yeah.
to basically raise the banner and say, no, we can actually do this, and I know how we'll do this.
Yeah. And then on the people side of things, then do you feel that came naturally to you of like leading people and being able to manage teams, or is
Mm, it, it may seem like it is natural to me.
yeah.
Deep inside, not so much. I am fairly introverted enough not to feel super great about that aspect of life. Uh, but I guess experience helps. There are years of experience now.
Yeah.
Having good people around you helps a lot. Really depends on the teams you have. But if you work with the right people, which check culturally,
Yeah.
and this is a very important part of my interview process when we hire people, is just to get people with the same values or people who share the same values as you. That helps a lot. Then a lot of soft skill feathering and human factor goes away,
Yeah.
because just the people who think like you will understand you quicker, and leading them is effortless, really, or close to.
Yeah, and I agree. I think culture is so important for everything that I've always felt. I think there's that phrase, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And if you've got the right culture, then I think it's a lot easier to be able to achieve the goal.
100%, and I am prepared to sacrifice some technical skills when I see, I would say, the great candidate who is a rock star in software development. But I also see the problems that this person might possess because our cultural values do not align, and I am prepared actually to sacrifice on the technical qualities, on the hard skills, and prefer a different candidate who is actually more culturally aligned, maybe less technically mature. But you see, technical maturity is something that can be achieved and
Yeah.
can be learned. Cultural fit is something that I'm not interested in changing. That's uh, people are different, and if someone doesn't align with me, doesn't mean they are a bad person. That neither does it mean that I am a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think when you're in the right environment, if you're in the right environment, it can be so important. But again, if you're in the wrong environment, it'd be so detrimental to all parties involved. Amazing. Um, yeah, thanks for saying about your journey. I was really keen to understand as well is, like, how long have you been in Manchester then?
Oof, I moved in 17 years ago.
Wow. Because where did
Close
you
to
come
life.
straight from Latvia to
Yep,
yeah.
yep. It was a very well-weighted choice.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really like capital cities.
Yeah.
Something is off with the capital cities for me. I don't know why, but everywhere I went, the second largest city or the second biggest place is
Yeah.
always my cup of tea. So Manchester was a natural choice. Plus, I got a placement in Manchester University, and that's a very high-ranked school in UK. So it was a no-brainer for me to come to Manchester. Didn't know much about the city apart from all the Industrial Revolution heritage and
Yeah.
etc. But I fell in love when I landed here. That's I realized, yeah, that's my city.
Amazing. And what has it been like seeing the city grow? Because I've been here a year and it's changing so much. And I love speaking to people who've been to in Manchester as long as you have and talking about how much it's changed and how much it's grown. Not just from a development perspective, but also from like a people perspective and the industry and everything.
No, big time. If we reflect this 17 years back, the city has changed, and it wasn't just a straight line type of change with this set target. No, I've witnessed this city finding its place in the world,
Yeah.
transforming from the warehouse city from Gunchester into what we have right now. A fascinating journey Manchester going through. I mean, I love the rustic vibes of Manchester
Yeah.
from the day one. I've seen huge potential in the city as well, and I'm really glad it's unfolded.
Yeah.
It's including the regeneration of the city center and the suburbs. The what they built here is something is questionable, but in general, I like the trend where it goes
Yeah.
with the mixed development with high rises. Um, I like what they do economically to the city. I had my issues with Andy Burham, but I'm giving him credit for what he and his team have done. Absolutely, well done there. And so now there is no question which city is the second city
Yeah.
in UK. When I moved in here, there was question.
I was going to say, what do you remember about it from when you first came?
Um, well, it was not. It was suboptimal living experience. Let's put it this way. There was just one tram line or a few tram lines, not much, and there were lots of warehouses, abandoned houses, old mills, completely abandoned. I do remember. So it was university days. I was into photography. I
Yeah.
had a friend who also was into photography. We went crawling around. We're going to a very dodgy area called Hamcoats, which was quite scary. We took a few pictures there. I looked at a few mills, and I'm like, damn, I want to live in one mill. I wish someone would regenerate them. And that's where I rented my first flat.
And Anco's is like from what I've only seen obviously the last year or so. I've been able to Manchester up and back for years, but Anco's now is amazing. But I love the gentler.
And that's, I think, is the very picturesque representation of how Manchester is transforming.
And are there any old spots you miss that aren't here anymore? Is it?
Mhm. Um, I, uh, I I admire the approach where when something is gone, you just be thankful that you have witnessed this before, and just keep it to your
Yeah.
memory. So don't be sad about it. It's the whole concept, for example, of the graffiti art, right? The whole purpose there is it will be gone. You enjoy it while it's there. When it will be gone, that's it. It will be just in your memory. Same approach I apply to all the spots in Manchester. There is one spot that will probably break my heart if it shuts down. There is a snooker place
Okay.
near the Victoria Station by the Green Quarter. When I moved in 17 years ago, it was very old place. You could tell. You could tell that all the money they earn, they put into the gear, right? Not into refurbishment, not to making a nice bar or a cozy dining experience. Nope. We'll make the good tables there, and the pool and the snooker tables will be perfect. That's all we care about. Loved it. 17 years. They're still running. Same vibes. And the place is absolutely amazing. I really wish them all the best. But now it's even hard to get yourself a table or a weekend, so they're doing well. So
Yeah.
they will keep running.
We'll have to go for a game of pool or snooker one
Ooh,
day, mate.
absolutely.
But if you've got 17 years experience on it,
There you go.
and then what do you feel though from so what do you feel makes the Manchester tech scene special?
Definitely free universities. That's I think that's the biggest enabler. That this is your baseline on which it's hard not to make the city grow like it grows. It is a huge enabler, and whoever makes the decisions takes this into consideration rightly. So they then did the right infrastructure for that. They're attracting businesses, they're running programs. So this being leveraged is a huge enabler. Second big enabler is it's not London. If you think about it, maybe it's a burden to some degree, but also it's a big enabler for the startup industries, for other businesses that don't want to incur London's costs, for individuals who do want to move away from London. So you can get those professionals in here in Manchester because that's where they are moving. So this card being played right gives a big advantage of Manchester not being London. And plus general economical shift of the country, etc. It opens opportunities like a sustainability hub being opened by Manchester University and others, the sister project I'm
Yeah, it's
referring
really
to.
exciting.
Yeah, projects like that, that's what fuels the economy really well.
Yeah, amazing. And I think it feels like a really, really exciting time to be in Manchester. I know I say that because I'm biased from here now.
Oh
But
no, I'm here for 17 years. I'm saying exactly the same.
do you feel this is one of the most exciting periods of the 17 years you've been in like sort of right here, right now? Obviously, I know you can have like recency bias sort of thing, but it feels like there's a real buzz around the city. It feels like everyone who's been here a long time or new to it is really excited about what's coming. And you touched on things like the sister project, the economic shift to more northern businesses and not be in London, and obviously also the flexibility it is disposed to maybe people wanting to move into more rural areas, but still have a city feel, which Manchester's got an abundance around the outskirts, like the Peak Districts. And
No, it's very well strategically located. They'll make it, no doubt. And as for the time, I think now is the best time in Manchester, honestly.
Yeah.
Year on year, the city gets better. There are bumps on the road.
Which we expect to.
Yep. But I'd say year on year it gets better. Ask me now, I'll say now is the best time. Ask me in a year's time, I'll say now is the best time.
Yeah.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And from the people I'm speaking to, they really feel the same as well. And what do you think? What does Manchester do differently then to the other tech hubs? I know you touched on a few points, but like different, like London or Silicon Valley.
No, I think Manchester is just benefiting from having lots of graduates who can afford rent and live in a nice part of the city, which is not an option in London, for example, and not an option in smaller cities because there's not so much to do. I think that's that sweet spot that keeps the graduates, which in turn attracts businesses because access to talent.
Yeah.
Plus, the hybrid and remote working opens up the entire Northwest and even Northeast to your opportunities there. So I think that's what Manchester does right. They're playing this card really well.
Yeah. And what do you think? Is there anything else you think makes us unique in terms of the offering or what's good?
To me, it's a historical heritage. I'm into history. I admire things that happened here, the whole history of the region. I think that's very appealing, and keeping this cultural heritage is important for the city. Look at the architecture, for example. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the buildings I see around. So yeah, keeping that is essential. I'm living in one of the converted mills
Nice.
still for 17 years, well, 16 years. 1 year in the university and then 16 years in the converted mill. So I'm absolutely loving that. It inspires me.
And I think as well, you said like the history, the culture. Manchester's just got so much going on. Not just like obviously we're involved in the tech scene, so we see what's going on. But like the music, food, I think the people make it. So like the people from Manchester and are very accepting to people coming in from the outside. As long as you're proud to be in Manchester as well. At the same time, you're not trying to be something else.
Absolutely.
Then they're very accepted into the various communities, which is something I absolutely loved and really reinforced why I'm so wanted to be here, not just now, but for a long time.
Really 100%. And that's what I see. A history with the huge historical heritage, right? And we're not talking ancient history,
Yeah.
although that as well. No, we're talking all sorts, from industrial revolution to the music, to the football. It's all there. It's very strong, but also it's accepting this absolute brewing mix of cultures that comes from those universities. And it's done really well. I like it.
Amazing. And then so you've got 17 years behind you. We've talked about what's happening now. Where do you see it currently heading then? Is what the Manchester tech scene like? Where do you see the future ahead then?
I'd like it to be even more open to the technology. I want to see more grants, more fundings, more tax breaks, more incentives for the business. I would absolutely love to see more of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes feels like what's happening is just taken for granted and assumed to keep happening.
Yeah.
I think as much stipulation to that that the government, the larger businesses could put in, the better. Almost like make Manchester as Ireland, what Ireland did for the tech industry. I would love to see more of that. This is the fire that needs to keep fueling. Yes, it will burn on itself quite well. There is enough fuel there, but just keep pouring, keep pouring, keep pouring.
So not to get complacent then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't get used to this being all nice and cheerful all the time. Now it's just it requires the constant effort, and yeah, I wish to see more of that effort. Is the whole energy business and tech around the energy business, because energy becomes very, very tech enabled and tech driven. Yeah, we can talk about the thorium reactors and nuclear fusion, which is the future, but then it's all the distribution of power. The data centers need a lot of power, and we need a lot of data centers. So, and we also need to keep stepping away from the carbon fuels. Just for our own energy independence. So we need to be looking into renewables, sustainable energy, and that's very tech-enabled areas of our life and the business. So there is a lot of technology happening there, and this is something I would really be looking into: cheaper energy, more sustainable energy, better energy storage solutions. Because if you think about it, we have huge compute powers. But our energy transmission technology is quite dated. So I want to have a powerful computer that doesn't require much energy. Or if it does require energy, the energy storage, the battery, is tiny and you don't need to recharge it very frequently. that requires a really significant technological advancement in the energy storage. But once that's achieved, then the world will change. Imagine compute power available everywhere without being dependent on a wire or on recharging your battery. It could be as complicated and sophisticated as the chatbot in your smartwatch that doesn't need the data center to fuel its compute demand, but it works on your wrist and you charge it once a month. That's a very sophisticated example, but a simple example could be, I don't know, a poster on a wall which is not made of paper but is actually a glass, and it doesn't need a wire. It has a little tiny battery and it will last for 3 years, for example. Technology like that, wearables of all sorts, that all requires a very big jump in the energy technology. So that's what.
And I think like the energy sustainability is a massive growth area, isn't it? And it seems quite counterproductive that energy, sustainability, and then defense at the same time. So it's a bit like we're looking forward to the future, but
And I've read the report yesterday that the sustainable energy part of the UK businesses is growing at the fastest rate. I think their growth rate is 40%. Don't quote me on that, but it's the business that grows significantly. And I quite like the spin they put around this now. So it's not just all about saving the planet. It's also about the energy independence. So pretty much at the defense of the country. It's all about commercial effectiveness as well. So we want energy to be cheaper in UK. Out of Europe, we have the highest energy prices.
Yeah.
So it's quite a blocker for the energy intense industries, and for us and our cost of living. So having cheaper energy would be cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it seems like all of the industries are all in Manchester. Do you know what I mean? So we're like, I think we're one of the top AI communities in the UK, and it just seems like it's a real hub and a smelting pot for anything within technology to thrive and flourish, just because of the points you mentioned. And then sort of finally then to wrap things up, I was keen to ask you what your sort of tech predictions for the rest of 2025 is.
For this year, we'll keep advancing in AI a lot. Agentic AI looks scary but promising as well. We can have a separate podcast on this or a series of podcasts, but let's see how that unfolds. I think value-added AI is the king, and we'll see more of that. And hopefully to us it will mean more affordable services that we couldn't afford before. Like, for example, my legal team, don't have a legal team in the company. Every time I have a legal question, I pick up the phone, it's minus 400 quid for a call, right? So these services, if they become more affordable, people would go and use the professional legal services more. And this is what AI can bring us. All the mundane tasks will be gone for the legals. They will be able to do more work.
Yeah.
Hence, the price of their service will go down, hopefully. So I'm looking forward for AI to start actually bringing the cost of living down. That's my prediction for 2025. We should start seeing some of that. As for non-AI things, I am still looking forward to the breakthrough in the energy sector, whether it's better solar panels that will be developed in Manchester, for example, or will it be the proper...
Not sure if we get enough sun for solar panels.
Well, that's the incentive, right? We need those panels to be super efficient because we don't have that much sun. So hey, the bar is set very high. Go and do it.
Well, it's been really super interesting to hear about your journey from sort of the introduction to tech to where you are now, and obviously about what you're doing as well in your current role. And I could sit here all day and talk about Manchester and the tech
100%.
community. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and yeah, I really appreciate it, mate. And we need to get a game of pool or snooker in as well.
Well, you asked for it.